Big news today, obviously Rangers fans getting back into Celtic Park next month. What's your thoughts on that?
Great to be fair. We've actually missed them here, the atmosphere, as well as probably they've missed us with the atmosphere over there. Aye.
Doesn't seem the same, does it, an Old Firm game without both sets of fans?
Definitely no. The atmosphere for one side of fans, instead of having both sides of fans going at each other for 90 minutes.
So it's all about, isn't it?
100%.
And I think it's, you look at it, even as an outsider, people look at it and think, that's one of the biggest derbies in the world. And here we are in a situation where there's only one set of supporters.
It is the biggest derby in the world, 100%. People say Man U, Man City, Liverpool, Everton. Nothing compares to this,
How do you feel? I mean, Rangers fans obviously been allowed back in here next month, and then Celtic fans been allowed back at Ibrox, later in the season. How happy are you about that?
I'm pleased about it because it definitely creates a much better atmosphere. Although it's lovely to be in there and it's full of Celtic fans at these games, you do miss the opposition's fans, definitely. And
one of the biggest, derbies, arguably, in the world as well. It
Absolutely.
seems daft not having both sets of supporters there.
Absolutely, no, I welcome it. Should be good. Look forward to it, seeing them get beat.
And been a while since it's happened. Do you feel sort of both parties have finally maybe seen a bit of sense?
Well, let's hope so.
I think it's a good thing. I think the teams and the fans should be able to go to stadiums and they should be able to support their clubs. I think it's the right thing. It doesn't matter what side it is. It's a positive.
And of course, there obviously has been a period where fans of either club have not been around at either stadium, so it's gone on maybe a bit too long.
I think it's gone a bit it's gone too kind of dull. You need the atmospheres in the stadium. That's what draws punters. That's what gets sponsors involved. And that's what Scottish football needs. It needs the big two to perform. And the club should support the fans and the base, around the world. And
it's one of the greatest derbies in the world, really. It seems weird that you don't have both sets of supporters there.
Of course it is. For me, it's the biggest one in the world. You look at the Milan and the English ones. There isn't one that touches the Scottish Old Firm, and you want the fans there to experience it, good or bad.
You a Rangers fan?
I'm a Rangers fan, yeah.
Next month's Old Firm derby will have Rangers fans back in this ground.
Well, it's long overdue. Should have happened. Well, it shouldn't have happened in the first place. Plus, I think they should get the full allocation again that we had originally. They get a better atmosphere. You've seen it at the Cup final at Hampden when it's half and half. What an atmosphere you get when the opposing fans come to your stadium. It's brilliant. I'm looking forward to it.
And great news, of course, because it's replicated for Celtic fans later in the
season. That's right. And fortunately, I won't be at the game. I don't go to games much now. Now and again, my son takes me. But even watching it on the TV, you get the atmosphere coming through as well when the opposing fans are there. So that adds to it.
And long overdue, really, because it's getting a bit tit for tat, wasn't it?
It shouldn't have happened in the first place. That's the unfortunate thing. That had to happen. But the good news is, it's getting back to what it used to be. Looking forward to it.
We've heard today that Rangers fans can be allowed back for the big match at Celtic Park next month. Your thoughts on it?
Brilliant. The atmosphere between the two clubs is brilliant. It's when the Celtic fans weren't allowed here, I found it dull. I found it sterile. There was no atmosphere at all. You need that between the two sets of fans. There's always that rivalry, whether it's the wrong side of the rivalry, the kind of bigotry side of it. But you need that atmosphere between the two fans. When you've got a stadium full of one set of fans, for me it's no the greatest.
Yeah, how big is it a game is it going to be? Because it has been a while now since you've been away.
It's got to be a massive game. It's got to be a massive game. I think the Rangers fans that actually get in are going to love it, and the Celtic fans that come in are going to love it. So I think it can only be good for the Scottish game, having the two big teams going at it and having their fans supporting them.
I think it adds to the atmosphere, makes it a lot better in terms of when the teams are together. Adds a little bit of flavour to it. Yeah, it brings that little bit more excitement to it, and it gives us a little bit of credence in terms of when you know that you're in top and you can actually put that pressure back on the supporters.
Great for fans to be back, because obviously this is, if not the biggest derby match in the world?
Well, I would say it is the biggest derby, Lance, but we'd always say that anyway, being a Glasgow lad. But yeah, I must admit, it makes a big difference to me in terms of the atmosphere, and it should have never been taken away in the first instance. In terms of what it is, when you look at the history associated with Celtic and Rangers, I think it's part and parcel of the game itself, to be honest with you.
Do you think it's been a little bit of tit for tat, and maybe now both parties have started to finally see sense?
Like most things, there'll always be a history behind whose decision it was in the first instance, but the only people that lose out it are the supporters. No one else loses out it as a consequence, so it's worth it in terms of getting back. I just hope everybody behaves themselves when they get back together.
Personally, they should have done it years ago. No, I prefer the both sets of fans in, do you know what I mean? Makes it a better game, you know.
Yeah, I think that was it. It was a bit of tit for tat, both sides, and it all went a bit sour in the end.
I think it was on both sides. No, I can say it was theirs, they'll say it was us, so it's a bit of banter on both. But I'm glad they're back in, to be honest. You know, we needed it. We did need it. You know what I mean? Makes the game better as well.
That's it. This is voted one of the biggest derbies in the world, and and there we are. Only home fans can get in.
You better with the tour, man. Definite. Back to the old firm. An old derby, it's an old firm. Okay.
Fair.
Yeah, to have them back, yes, definitely.
Why?
Definitely. Bit more banter, between the fans, kind of thing. It's not quite the same when it's only one lot of each set of fans, kind of thing. It's just not right.
Yeah, and I think it's such a big game as well. Have you missed them? Was it right to say that?
Well, in a way, because especially when we're winning, somebody to shout at.
Yeah, and do you think it's gone on a bit too long? A couple of years now since fans have been back. Do you think maybe both sets of supporters both sets of not really supporters, both sets of clubs could really have seen a bit more sense?
Definitely. If we do, maybe 10% of the away team at each stadium, kind of thing.
There's going to be 4% of tickets. It's like 2,500 for Rangers fans, 2,000 for Celtic when they go to Ibrox. So
is that what it's going to be then? Well, if that's it, that's it. But but personally, I think it should be a higher percentage than that. That's my opinion.
But good to have it.
Good to have it back, definitely.
Rangers fans getting back to Celtic Park.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on that?
Well, that's great. It's great for the fans. Obviously, a long time coming. Obviously, we'll see how it goes on the day. But it's good getting back into get the support behind the team when they're in opposition park like that. Do you
think it's got out of hand a wee bit? Because tit for tat almost.
Definitely tit for tat. It's just it shouldn't have happened in the first place. But I'm really looking forward to that. Definitely tit for tat though. Yeah.
And incredible to get back, and I suppose it's a step in the right direction between the two clubs.
Yes, exactly. Let's put all that behind us and get on with the game in hand.